I am Mayuri, head interior designer at Spaces of Hue. And at Spaces of Hue, we design homes, we do turnkey projects, we do projects that involve a makeover, and we do also budget makeovers. But today I'm here with you on the Style With Me series to help you style your spaces, make your spaces look good with some quick hacks, tips and tricks.
I'm back with an awesome video around interiors that need to be done in your kids' room or your nursery for your child. Typically, when we are putting a child's nursery together, a baby's nursery or a child room together, something which is very important to look at is accessibility. Anything that you want your child to learn should always be accessible to the child so that the child can use it and independently play or learn with it. So when I am designing nurseries for a family, I usually try to understand from the family where does the child's capabilities or their skills lie in, or what is the child really trying to do more of, or what they would like the child to do more of. And in that way, the child actually likes to do stuff that they have fun with, and at the same time the parents are happy that they're picking on things that they as parents want the child to sort of inculcate. So when you're actually starting a nursery makeover or doing your own rooms, you need to take care of two things in mind. One is divide the area into a play area and a learning area. That really helps the child to kind of understand that this is my go-to place to start playing and kind of enjoy that space a lot. Yet when he looks at the learning area, he can pick up things from there and sort of sit with you, maybe do a reading time, etc. So while designing this particular room where I'm sitting right now, we took care of two important areas. One was, of course, the learning area. And in the learning area, we included chalkboard, background. So here we've used a vinyl sticker, which is really easy, very handy, and really cheap on cost. You could go for the expensive type as well, like in, a chalkboard that is mobile. But, it works totally fine if you have something on the wall that the child can scribble on. Try to keep it a bit longer in length, like I have included in this particular one. So that the child can kind of, if he gets too creative and likes to write a lot, he or she can actually continue to do so. Apart from that, when you're looking at the child area, depending upon the age, so for example, this room has been designed for a toddler. So toddlers love to climb on chairs and stools. So we need to ensure that these are extremely smooth on the edges and at the same time very kid friendly. They're light in their weight, and the child should not get hurt while they're playing around it. So we've picked up products from IKEA which are light and easy to manage by toddlers and can be lifted, and they can independently move them around in the room so as to sit right next to the playing area or the learning area. Apart from this, we've also used wooden products which are which are made by using baby safe paints, colors, so that the child is not around toxic elements like paints and chemicals and all of that. But they're also very good in improving their motor skills. So as you can see, there are some bits and pieces like you have abacus, or you have ABCs that are on a dowel that kind of move back and forth, and the child can really engage with those kind of games. Coming to the next area, which is the play area. The play area needs to have a bit of formal and informal vibe. Meaning when you're looking at the play area, it should have things like the child really likes, but at the same time sort of has this hidden or coveted learning skills as well. So for example, you have a stackable that you're looking at, but it should also be colorful so that the child starts identifying colors while they're playing with it. Or a rainbow, or those toys that they can drag along. So it also encourages better walking skills if your toddlers just learn to kind of walk a little bit. One thing which I always sort of propose to clients who aren't really looking at it very consciously is introducing reading to the child at a very early young age. Especially as a parent, we all tend to do that, is we go into bedtimes and we kind of read stories to them, and that's a great thing to get them started, with early reading habits. But if you make books accessible to the child, like small board books, that's a great idea. And a very good way to do that is to introduce aisles or ledges or book holders. So you could use maybe IKEA spice racks, or you have ledges, you can use that, and just put them on the wall and put the books in it, and you can actually have your toddler come up and pick them up. Remember, they have to be in eye level. So for example, you see here, these books are on the toddler's eye level so that the toddler can pick it out and read them by itself. You can actually make a bit of comfortable seating, maybe like a small bench pad or something on the floor, so that the child can sit and try to read on his own, and really encourage that independent reading habit, then depending on you to kind of always be there to read stories through the day or teach them, they can actually start learning on their own. So once we have taken care of two important areas, which is the learning area and the playing area, we need to then move on to the sleeping area, which is also the relaxing area and can be shared with the parent, but eventually needs to be kind of given that independence that the child starts to get sleep trained in that area. So if you look at the sleeping area, one very important thing, if your child is really small, you need to ensure that the sleeping area is child friendly, meaning the child doesn't fall off it. You don't need to really put rails, because when a toddler starts standing up and pulling themselves up, it's important that you ensure that, even if you kind of take your eyes off for a minute, the child is still safe. So best way to do that is keep the bedding floor bedding if you can, and that's what we've done. In this room we've used IKEA Kura, which is a great bunk bed to use, because it can be used in multiple ways. You can hack them as well, but in this case we've used the original setup. We've used it upside down in this case, which means that we've used the floor bedding first, because the child is still a toddler, and we don't want to include that risk or sort of have that risk in future. But as the child grows, this bed can again be reversed and used at a higher bedding, still a floor bedding. And once the child is above 6 to 7 years, you can actually have the upper section of the bed bunk used by the child. This is how we have designed the space. Very important is to make the space colorful and attractive to the child at the end of the day. So having books that are colorful, having toys that are colorful, because kids love colors and they are able to see these colors only when the backgrounds are not that busy. So if you're going for a jungle theme and the background is too busy, then the kid will not be able to pick up on things that you really want the child to pick up on. For example, identifying colors, identifying animals, even books for that matter stand out with a plain or a slightly non-busy background, and that's what we've used here as well. We've tried to include very few decals on the wall, and have kept the colors in pastels or just plain white, so that there's a lot of identification that the child can do and sort of respond to those colors and engage with those toys that he's been given. Lastly but not the least is to help the child have an identity with his name over a growing period. And of course we do call our kid by his or her name, but it's always a great thing to actually have the name board or the name plaque set up in the child's room, so that they're regularly looking at it, and it kind of creates that bond, that bond with their own name. Most importantly is that you allow the child to engage with these things freely without being tensed about they might hurt themselves. And that's why ensure that any cabinetry that you have or any drawers that you have already been baby proofed, if at all you have them in the room. And that's it. Rest of it is so baby friendly. It's toxic chemical friendly. We've used products that are either made in pine wood or have been finished with paint that is kid friendly. So you're going to enjoy this space. You're going to love it when your kid really walks into it and starts using it. One important point that I forgot to mention was we've also created a bit of a discipline area for the child, where the child can throw in their own laundry in a small basket and can hang their own clothes. This also kind of gives them a feeling that, you know, they're like a mini adult and they're responsible somewhere for their own activities, and that really allows them to enjoy the space. They feel like, yes, they are one of us and they can also have their own space. So I hope you really liked the design that we've created for this room. If you have any questions for us about the nursery, or you would like us to consult you on any of these services or create a cute room for your child, do reach out to us on contact@spacesofyou.com and we'd be happy to help you. For more such videos, please do follow, like us and subscribe to our channel. And yes, we look forward to your comments in the comment section. Thank you.